everyone. This is the Rixican Show. I am Rick Beer, your host today, and I'm going to talk about bringing the YMCA or something like it, because until you get approved by them, get the big stamp. But we have Teresa Fields with us today, and we're going to jump into that in a minute. Before we get started, we're just going to talk a little bit about how things are going. So yesterday we had Veterans Day.
Yes. How'd that go? I wanted to come in and get a meal, which I never do, but
We only offer meals to full veterans, not half veterans.
this guy,
It grows every year. The first year I did it, we did like 13 people came in for a free meal. Last year we did serve 24, and this year we served 35
oh
people
wow.
came in for a free meal. And then Smoke and Lokes barbecue provided pulled pork sandwiches, and so we served that as well. You had your choice:
It's interesting that you say that
smoked
because
meat or a burger.
people can still get pulled pork today for $12.99 with some fries down at Rick's. So come on down for lunch and get a pulled pork sandwich and some split pea soup for just $4.50. So
Yeah,
since you brought it up, I figured I might as well bring
yeah,
it up.
and it's really good. It's a super light flavor when he barbecues. So people that are like, some people smoke meat and they're like, it's too much smoke. It's just super mild.
Let me ask you this question, because of the meds I take, ketchup sometimes is too spicy for me. So how do you think I'll be able to tolerate it?
Well, unless you put the sauce on it, you'll be fine.
Oh, sweet.
So you don't have to put barbecue sauce
I'm gonna try it.
on your sandwich. But I think most women are too spicy for you.
No. Before the cancer, I jalapenos, ghost peppers. I do not like Carolina Reaper. In fact, I tried a sauce called Extreme Regret, and after I tried it, I extremely regretted it.
Yeah.
And I just not, but everything but Carolina Reapers. I was a big fan of everything hot. My rule was always the hotter the better. But since I'm off those meds, pretty soon that'll come back and I can start at spicy food again. Even ketchup.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm not a wussy.
Maybe you are. He gets no love from me. I just beat him up the whole time.
So how's it? You're doing a roof and you got a remodel coming up. How's that going with the reconstruction?
Well, we've got this house like torn apart. Windows are coming out. I was going to try to save the siding. There's this old cedar lap siding, and we popped a few off and they were breaking. And I was like, it's all got to go. So we're redoing all the siding on this house and the windows and, doing what we do. So it's pretty exciting. Lots of work. And I'm like, I feel like I need to be there right now. So like I got to be running supplies, but no, we're taking a little time out to do this.
I got some good news too. Adam is back in town for good. So if you need some extra work, he's here to help.
Okay. Teresa, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Let's pick on Teresa Fields.
Please do.
Really quick, Teresa, I just want to let you know that if you should ever have any issues with your vehicle, Brothers Automotive is the place for you. Folks, often we pay way too much for a car repair. In fact, one thing I've heard stories about Brothers Automotive is that people will come in and have an estimate they got from another shop, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, all these things that need to be swapped out. Remember one vehicle in particular. It was a dually F350. It needed new calipers, new rotors, everything in the brake system. It was quoted about just under $3,000. And Brothers Automotive looked at it and they said, "We checked all that. All you need is brake pads." And he was like, "What?" And so I'm not saying that there are dishonest people in this town, but I can tell you 100% that Brothers Automotive will treat you right. The most affordable auto repair in the most like in surrounding area. Often they can work it out where they pick up your car and drop it off for you at work or home. So give Brothers Automotive a call, 761-9744. Again, 761-9744. Back to you, Rick.
Thanks. That's why I use them on. He picks up my car, drops it off, and I'm like, I don't have to play the weight game. So appreciate that. So Teresa, you are on a mission, and it has to do with a facility that is or similar to a YMCA. And so tell us, why is this your passion and what are you trying to do?
Just, Moses Lake needs it. We need a community. We need a place to collaborate. I mean, we're just disconnected. So, the YMCA for me, I had two babies that hit, going through a divorce, wasn't able to pay child support. I probably shouldn't even say this, but I don't even think I paid for them to watch my kids. And so, they really helped me out of a tough spot. Both of my boys are grown now, raising their own kids, and it's got a place in my heart. And it's not just the Y. I think a friend of mine just came and said, "Hey, let's do a Y." I'm from California. A Y was the backbone of our town. It helped us in so many ways. Why don't we have one? And so I said, "Let me see."
So is it a lot like I grew up also a child of a single mother, and it wasn't the YMCA, but the Boys and Girls Club. And after school, she got free babysitting because I would go there and I would do pottery and wood shop, and they all was in Seattle. Did a lot of really cool stuff. And my mom would show up when she got off work, pick me up, and go home. I'd eat. So the YMCA isn't just a gym, then, right? It's more than that.
It's a community support system. Yeah. Yeah. They do all kinds of childcare. There's programs outside of the actual building that Rick and I were talking about sailing, surfing. I mean, it depends on the need and what people want, and they support it.
Well, your focus is aquatics based. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct.
And you're not trying to take anybody else's business.
Nope.
There's gyms in town.
Yeah. You want to fill the gap.
You clearly only have one gym with a pool, right? Are they still open? Mosaic Athletic Club?
They closed their pool down, I think.
They,
Yeah.
Yeah. So the concept is an indoor pool, so it can operate year round, is what I understood in our previous conversation.
Right.
What is stopping you from moving forward?
We have to do a report. YMCA has to stamp off on where the location of the building will be and who it's going to serve. And if we don't even have this report, we can't move forward. And so they have a team that's going to do this for us. It's a $10,000 report. It started about 40,000, and I just kept telling the Y, this is Moses Lake. We can't afford that. And so they just kept working it, and they said, we found somebody that can do it for this much. And we have somebody from Wenatchee that already donated $5,000, and then I have another $1,000 donation. It's all by word of mouth. I can't go out and say we're going to build a YMCA and we're going to do a fundraiser because we don't know if we're going to build a YMCA. And then I'd have to go, okay, here's your money back.
So
do they have to have engineers come out? So that's the report works, Rick? Did you guys? I don't know.
It's actually they grab the information on who they're going to serve, and it's kind of a digital report. They pull all the information on how many children are in the area, what's the lack of physical activity in the area, and literally, if we put it in, where will it go to serve the community the best? And so, I mean, this report will tell us where it's going to be at, who's going to use it, and then we go from there.
Okay, so in summary, you need $10,000. You've raised $6,000 just by word of mouth. A couple generous people, so you need about $4,000.
Correct.
Plus tax.
I think it's 4,000 flat. Yeah.
10,000 flat only.
Yeah.
And so we need some, people to, if they're interested, to show some love.
Yeah. Anybody that believes that it's going to change or do something for them, I think that's how we're getting the money. People are just like, I live for the Y. I've used the Y when I was a child. Or
now, if I gave $100 to the program or to the survey,
right?
Do I just go, here's $100,
right?
And you're like, here's a receipt, or thank you, have a nice day.
Yeah. It goes to the YMCA Wenatchee, and the memo we put Moses Lake because we're not a nonprofit, right? And it's
Yeah.
being gathered as a nonprofit, and so that's how we're doing it currently.
Yeah. So I think the initial focus, from my understanding, you correct me if I'm wrong, is to put in an indoor pool, and then we talked some more because we have a lake, and I was like, "What about summer camp? What about an aquatics program?" Now, I'm from Southern California. I'm one of those California brats in your community, right? These guys that come in and disrupt. And I was like, I used to teach sailing lessons, rowing, canoeing, every merit badge a Boy Scout could do. I taught it, in the water, life savings, swimming, whatever. So I'm like, I taught all that stuff, and I'm sure a program would be very similar. Uh, could we expand to do those things?
Yeah, and that's what the Y is. The Y is going to be the hub or the central location on different programs that are going to happen. We were approached by, and I did talk to the Girls and Boys Club, Youth Dynamics. I go, where can we help out and fill the gap? Right? Where can we do this where we're not taking from you? And they were like, Teresa, that's what we'll do. We'll work out where we can't. And, that's where we'll focus on infant care or even programs outside of Moses Lake that need to come in. I mean, that's what the Y does. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Because I was like, a summer camp for kids here would be awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, how would that work? Your parents drop them off every week, or is there an actual camp? They will camp out the sand dunes and push boats into the water, right?
Right.
Yeah. But that has my interest. I was like, that would be really cool to bring that. And would people come in from out of town to use, I guess, these camps?
So the Y is affiliated with a number of organizations. I mean, we could have a, graphics camp. And, not all kids are active. They want to do other things. And, we could have a gamers camp. We could have DigiPen come in and, it's sky's the limit.
Okay.
It is about community though. And I really think we are going to introduce something to Moses Lake that will just change what's going on. We need to get these kids out. We need to get them healthy, and the mental health that I think a YMCA will bring to this town is what's going to change the momentum in what we're doing currently.
So I have a question here from Pamela. She asked, have you talked to the city?
So we met with the city, and Doug from Parks and Rec represented the city manager, and they are all on board with us filling in the gap. They don't want us to duplicate services. And that's exactly what we don't want to do. There's so many people out there right now going, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and it's being done. If we put our heads together, if we collaborate correctly, we're all going to be able to fill in the gap instead of trying to do the same things. Who's doing it better? Who's going to do it cheaper? Let's fill in the gap and make sure that there's a consistency, right? Not feast or famine. We're going to do something that's consistent from the beginning to the end, from January to December.
So when you say like aquatic, like scuba diving,
So, everybody says I think too big. If we do a pool and has a dive board, I mean, we can do training in there. We can do frontline training in there. I mean, they can do their scuba training in there. They can do recovery training in there. It's what we dream up. This is what we want. We have to dream up what we want for Moses Lake. If it's something, we'll go small. We build it in phases. But I think that a pool that's accessible year-round would change the momentum of Moses Lake in just physical activity and mental activity. A lot of the seniors that I deal with aren't physically able, right? And recoveries of anything, medical recoveries, aren't able to do just a walk. They're like, Teresa, I have to use the pool because it's less impact and it's, And there's some pools that I've looked up that are mineral pools, 98-degree mineral pools and recovery pools, and people go to the pool to recover. And so, I mean, it's
Not like a glorified word for like,
hot tub.
yeah, hot tubs, salt bath.
But yeah, just that, and something we don't have. It's got to be something that Moses Lake has never seen, and they will utilize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it serves everybody, but there's a focus. An aspect of the use would be for seniors.
Right.
They're like, hey, we can't do impacts.
Aquatics, yeah.
Yeah, so we do our little
aerobics,
bob dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's probably offended. If you're offended, post that you're offended.
Yes. Yes.
I try to offend 2 people a week. Let's see. Did I see a focus on the youth?
Right.
Getting
even the swim team, being able to compete here. We have our football or baseball leagues that we have here. I mean, they come from all over. I have friends from Tonga that played here. They're like, "Where's Moses Lake?" And they come here and compete. And so just to have a facility that we could bring people in to compete, aquatics would be just amazing for our income too, bringing people in.
I have another comment here from Pamela. She says, I would bring it up to the city council, not the rec center. They can help. They have a meeting tonight, or no meeting, and every second Tuesday each month.
Yep.
So,
that's our goal. Our goal is to actually continue to speak to these individual corporations, and then probably have an introduction for the council to hear what we have to say and what's going on.
Okay, so the crazy hypotheticals here. So you do the survey, or something happens, and the Y is like, it's just not a good fit for us. Moses Lake is too small. It has a lake. You guys can do your own thing.
Right.
So how do you, if the Y says no, how do you move forward?
I continue to do what I do. I keep trekking forward. It's about this town.
We just changed the name. And,
that's right. We're going to call it Rick's Y.
Rick's Y. Who's Rick?
Why Rick?
Yeah. I don't think the city needs my name anymore.
Why Donnie?
Yeah. So it'd be like Aquatic Center or something. Moses Lake Aquatic Center.
Definitely.
The Basin Aquatic Center.
Yeah. And our sister cities have built aquatic centers. None of them covered. The closest sister, Quincy, doesn't have a cover. They just built an aquatic center and it's open.
Now the high school has a covered pool. Is there a reason they're not able to do some of these tasks?
They're really limited right now with their finances and having to keep a pool open outside of what they use it for. And so it's a struggle right now for the senior group. They're going to one of the therapy groups I think it's on Pioneer, and he allows them to use his pool. So he's a chiropractor and he has a pool, and he's like, yeah, just use our pool. And so they had talked about it. I don't know if that's still in play, but I mean, there was a time they used to go to motels and say, hey, the city helped too. We'll pay the insurance if you allow them to swim here, and use it for their aquatics group. But I think that sense has dissolved.
So how big of a pool are we talking? Like Olympic size?
Oh yeah, pool? Yeah. It's 6 to 9 lane. It's not a small pool, and it's it's going to have competitive swimming. Talking to some of the groups in the aquatic side, they're like, Teresa, if you build it. Don't build it and it fits 2 people swimming laps while the rest of the kids play. We want to build it where it can be utilized in all aspects for competition.
So it'll be a big Olympic sized pool.
Right.
Is it just going to be one pool? You mentioned these hot tubs. I'm like, how?
Well, so we're thinking there's,
these healing tubs.
Yeah, maybe a recovery pool, the actual competitive pool, and then like a swim, a shorter pool for the kids. So it has to be inclusive. We can't just, do Olympic sized pool and be done with it and say it's going to serve everybody. And so if we can figure that part out, what we want, I mean, let's get it here first. We'll talk about the details later.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you get approved. Where does the funding or where does the money come from
Right.
to
And so,
pay for an indoor Olympic-sized pool? Because I'm
Right.
sure it's more than $100 to
Correct.
build this.
correct. And, it's a nonprofit. So we would go to the private sector and just introduce it to them and say, we want a partnership. Um, Sumner built their YMCA through one donor. He's like, I want to build this. And he built the YMCA. He's like, here's the money, build it. And I see that from Moses Lake. If your employees are healthy, they work, they make you money. That's it, period. And that's how we're going to present it because it's community and, they can't just work. You got to have your, I mean, when you run a company, you can't just, not support every aspect of your employee's life. And so people are like, Teresa, that's pipe dream. I said, well, that's how they start. You
Yeah.
just go big and go from there. And I believe in this town. I believe in the two major components of this town, which is we're almost lost. We're trying to find something. And if we can find it together, I think we can support it. And so this town has a heart and they have a want to be connected. And, everyone's like, Teresa, that's why we go to church. Well, yeah, but, you can't sweat in church. Well, I do, but, working out, right? So that is my focus is just to get something going that can, take us to the next level. We're pretty dormant right now. I wish we were more consistent with the community aspect. I'm not talking down. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and there's a lot of changes going on. And with big city, which we are now, you can tell by the traffic. Oh, you guys act like you ain't sitting traffic here in Moses Lake. Okay, whatever. It's here. It's not coming. People are like, it's not here yet. It's here. And so we have to build, to fit the need. And there's things that we have to fulfill. And I think the Y will bring that, at least one aspect to it.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe in it. I believe that, it's going to help.
So you do your survey, you get the Y, you get funding, you build this aquatic center, and then you can implement, like you're saying, the summer camps or other activities or even trips. You mentioned like, oh, there's a group of people that have never seen the ocean. Let's go fishing. Take them out to the ocean. Can do some activities out there. You mentioned horses,
Equestrian, they could
equestrian
do it.
camps. I was like, that's pretty cool. For me, it was the boating. I'm all about, the water and stuff. Anyway, it sounds pretty cool. It's just like, this is a big project.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And people are like, Teresa, what are you on? And I'm like, just adrenaline, pure adrenaline, just trying to get it.
She rides a motorcycle. So believe her when she says adrenaline. She come walking in and she's like, oh, I'm sure you said you got a motorcycle.
It's just a little 1100. Ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing. I just weave in and out of traffic at Moses Lake.
No, I don't actually.
Oh man. Well, what can you share with the community to just wrap this all up? Because I think I don't know of any other angles other than it's a community based system, offers things for daycare, youth activities, and then they can expand out from there.
Right. It's nothing. It's not gonna. It's private. It's not gonna. We're not going to taxes. We're not going. We're not raising any taxes. We're not. We are trying to subsidize what is currently here, and so that is the biggest fear. Is they're like, well, how are you going to pay for it? And it's like, trust me, there's money out there. There's money to be had when it comes to mental health and physical health. I mean, there's people out there that really do care about how to change what is currently going on. And so, um, that would have been me stuck in the mud right there. I'd have stopped and said, no, there ain't no money out there. But it's it's surprising, and that's why I'm here. When people hear something and they hear that desire, they hear, wow, that would be something I would be interested in. And it changes people. Anybody that's able to help, a lot of people can't help in other ways, and you know they do help financially, and it's crazy what comes of it.
Yeah.
So
So someone has another comment. Pamela again. Rick, why
I love
don't you start a voting camp? Like, why is this on me? It's supposed to be picking on Teresa here.
Rick will, once we have it set up, he's going to be the captain of the ship. I'm telling you.
Possibly. I've thought about it, and I was like, to buy a bunch of sailboats, and I was like, geez, even to find used ones, I was like, is this like $100,000 startup? And like, I think it's a service for the community. I was like, how do I do it so it
I
breaks
got
even?
to store them. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, maybe there's donations and things, but I am somewhat, it does cross my mind from time to time. Like every summer, I was like, I should start a camp. And I was like, boy, I got bricks and construction. I go, how do I balance that? But I think it would be really neat. And I think it would be a cool draw in the communities. If you were driving by and you saw 15 little boats bobbing around all day, I think that'd be uh, at least like when I see a sailboat out on the lake, for some reason I'm like, oh, there's something unique on our lake because it's not very common
Correct.
to see a lot of sailboats on there. And a lot of the sails have color, and I'm like,
Rick, you think we got enough wind here?
sometimes we have too much, sometimes we don't have any. And when I taught it, sometimes it'd be 20 kids bobbing around in Newport Harbor in California, and I'd be in the motorboat, and you know, at the end, you go pick them all up, and they'll grab on and throw them all back in. But the kids did amazing. Like some picked it up, some got lost bobbing, and just kind of guide them through it. The rowing, right? You capsize them, you got to slide the canoe on another canoe, flip it around. They got to get back in, and after they swamp it. I mean, a motorboating class. Some kids were very cautious, and some kids would want to hot rod that thing. Unfortunately, they got little 5 horsepower engines, but
Pretty quick, do you own a business or accept credit cards? Most companies can take 2 or more days to get funds in your bank account. Many of them have extremely high rates and fees, especially with reward or program cards. Parallel economy gets your money to you the next day. Censor-resistant payment processing with no monthly surcharges. Plus, there's no contracts, 24/7 merchant support. They'll match or beat your current rate and have rates as low as 1.49%. Switch to parallel economy today. Link in the description below. All my required advertisements. Thanks, guys.
I love it.
well, here's somebody that's asked about something similar, Jennifer. So asked Parks and Department about it. They said the insurance was too high. I take my car for sailing camp every year. I would love to have a rowing team, sailing team in Moses Lake.
That's it, people. We want to hear what you have to say.
Thanks for bringing up the insurance part. I hadn't even got to that part yet.
Mhm.
But I think it would take a few generous people to want to pursue something like that. Because I think to even buy used or new, I was like, the stuff isn't,
It's not cheap.
it's not cheap. And then there's some maintenance because they all ran the dog, run aground, and
Well, it's like hydroplanes too, and those little sprint boats. I mean, even using them, borrowing them. Somebody say, hey, I got 25 sailboats you guys can use for the summer.
yeah, can why put in a marina? It's just like
Exactly.
Really need.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lake crossing. Maybe, never gonna say no. Never gonna say no.
We have a marina, it's Cascade Marina down in Cascade Valley. It's very small, but it is a marina.
I'm like, not the marina I'm talking.
That's right. This California boy is gonna be nice and marina.
Cali, and I lived on oceans most of my life, so yeah, I
There you
agree.
go, Donnie. And the boardwalk, we're gonna put a boardwalk here.
Oh,
It could happen.
You put a marina in and add some commercial stuff.
Yeah, Venice Beach.
Businesses would be
That's it.
selling ice and food as you get to your boat right there. You're walking back to the dock.
That's it.
There's a whole business there. It's a little shallow, I guess, in some areas where they've talked about doing it. But,
Right.
but anyway, we all have these dreams, but I'm like, there's some complexities to all this stuff.
I'm living my dream right here, Rick. I'm living it.
Living it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're out there networking.
Mhm.
I mean, you reached out to me, and you talked to several people in town, and you're still talking to people in town. I think the Herald did a write up
Yep.
a while back about it. So now it's just step one right now is to finish raising funds.
Right.
Of the 10,000, you have 6. Then I'll probably throw $100 at you right now, and then
Thank you, sir.
it's not much, but it's what I can do.
Trust me that, a dollar helps.
So I can
Yeah.
give you 101.
Yeah. All of them too.
I heard 102. But I think it'd be great for something like that in our community.
Our sister towns too. I've talked to a couple mayors and I said, look, if we charter here, we chartered from Wenatchee because they're the closest. You can't start a charter anymore from corporate. They're like, you have to bank off someone already, existing. And so Wenatchee is going to be our charter because they're closer to us, I think. By a couple miles than Spokane. And then it goes from there. I mean, if, one of our sister city wants to charter, it's going to just be that much easier. Big Sister Moses has it. We got it done already. And you want to do, just a small program, you can just charter off us. And so it's going to affect, it's almost a domino effect, but in a positive way. It's going to affect, I think, our sister cities and the smaller cities that can't charter. We want to be able to establish something here in Moses Lake. And I know the city manager is about it. He wants to make us the best city, right? In 2027. And so let's go, Rob, get up on here with me. I got you. I got you.
Calling you out.
Calling you out. And so, I mean, that's it. It's little people. We just got to make the change. You make a little bit of a change, you're going to be able to either undermine something that's not good or build something that's really good.
Well, things have a way of growing over time. You look at if you want to call them festivals, we have now Spring Fest and you've got the rodeo. Like, do you think those were that big when they started?
Exactly.
It's like every year.
This survey will tell us where it's got to be put. So, even though I want it here in town, right smack dab in the middle of Broadway, right? The survey will tell us who will utilize the facilities and who will serve best. And, they decide where we put it too. And so that's a lot of responsibility off my back.
And the survey is just for Moses Lake, or would it be like Grant County?
It is just Moses Lake. Now,
If you don't do a survey, you know what? Odessa really needs this.
Correct.
Moses Lake.
Correct. Odessa, get to work. Yeah. And so that's what it is. They literally just take our specific area, and they do this survey, and they run their numbers, and they say, because we were thinking, oh, Grant County Health uses that now. They know who, is in the area during these different age groups, and we can use their information. But this is definitely specialized just for a YMCA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions, anybody? Any last great words?
People get a hold of you.
How do you sell this thing?
You can get a hold of me at y_Moses_Lake@yahoo.com. And
_Moses_Lake at Yahoo.
yes, sir.
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah. Or find me. I'm on a big green motorcycle now. But yeah, we can get some information out there for contacts.
Man, what a great show today.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. You're doing your community service right now, right here. Seriously,
Spread the word.
that's it.
If you get a chance, make sure folks we're broadcasting now on YouTube, Facebook, X, Rumble, and a few other platforms. So get on there and like and share. Rick used to always say, push all his buttons.
Push all the buttons.
Push all those.
Push all my buttons.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
follow, subscribe.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Yeah. Everybody just take a little bit of time and process, what the potential is with this. I think it'd be a great community thing. And it doesn't, there's no bonds, there's none of that stuff, no tax increase with this, which is kind of nice. But it does take some work and footwork to bring people to the table to help out.
Yeah, I'll get an advisory board going here pretty quick. I've got a guy from Kona that reached out, Matt, and he's like, Teresa, I did the Kona one, and somebody helped build the Sumner one, and they're there. People that know about the why know about the why.
All these baby boomers are dying off. They have no place for their money, folks. There's probably some baby boomers that are paying down.
There, you got your two. You said you had that.
We're gonna have to have George call in, huh? He's got something to say.
Love it. Call in, George. Email.
Yeah. Well, I think we covered everything.
Y_Moses_Lake@yahoo.com.
Yes, sir.
Folks, this is something that will be really good for the community, for your kids, for the seniors. It sounds like something that will be very beneficial. And even if you have questions and you don't think it will be, get a hold of Teresa. Maybe she can help you understand why it is. And if not, maybe she's missing something and needs to hear from you. So
Yes.
we all work together. It takes a village.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like the pushback because then it makes me reassess on what I need to do. And if it is, I want to make sure. Rick had asked, why can't we just do fundraisers and show this, and this? I said, if I can't, this is a movement. If I can't get my community just to support this small part to get this assessment done, there's no need to move forward. I need to make sure that the community has their hand on this. It can't be who's running our community. They're a good support, and they're a good, way to get things done, right? We still got to go get the permits, and we got to figure out where we're going to build it. But the city and the community together on this project would be outstanding. It really would.
On a side note, just thinking of community and I guess the culture that we have now, whether you say since technology has come or since COVID has hit or whatever, I notice a lot more of us really need to get outside, need to build community. I think it's healthy to socialize and interact with people.
Yeah.
Whether you're a senior, right, doing your little water aerobics, that's a community for these people. And how many of them live alone?
Correct.
How many of them are like, this exercise by them, 5 years before going to an old folks home,
Right.
by being healthy and maintaining friendships. I kind of have stereotyped our Western world as we live in a big empty house. The kids grow up and they move on, and we live in this big empty house. And I feel like we lack community on many levels. I mean, at Rick's, I see it on the bar side. There's people that are many steps and phases in life, and they need community, so they come. But I kind of, just circling back to this whole process, like, getting your kids outside and doing some of these potential programs, what benefit would that be for the community in the summertime? Because I kind of stereotype our society as, we put all these bike lanes in, they're like, well, where are all the bikers at? It's a lot of work for 5 people.
Mhm.
Like, our outdoors are lacking people.
Remember in the 80s when you got on your bike and you just went by each street and your friends like, coming. And then when you turned around, there's like 25 kids driving.
The herd. Yeah. And you rode miles.
That's it.
You
That's
rode
it.
miles.
You drink from a hose. I want people to drink from a hose again, Rick.
Some doctor's probably offended.
I'm very
Or
offended.
he's happy. He's like, oh, new clients. People that drink from hoses. Yeah. New lawsuit.
A lot of my good friends are the older ones, and they're like, Teresa, this dies with me. I don't have grandkids. I don't have people I can share this with. Who can I give this to? And then I see the other side where the kids are like, I wish I, knew how to tie knots, or I wish I knew how to crochet, or
Yeah.
and you're just like, how do you put the two together? That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I can tie knots.
Can you crochet?
I can crochet. I've
Yeah.
made many beanies.
That's good.
I wouldn't say I'm amazing, but I'm to the point where I don't even follow a plan. I just start going.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, back up.
And they did that, right? Originally in the Navy, they had to do that. They learned to crochet and knit to make their own stuff.
Yeah. So everything on a ship was like
Self-sustaining.
Yeah. When everything was peaceful and before the storm hit, everybody's making sails for the next storm, because when those ones ripped, like they were making stuff. Now, I'm not in the Navy, but I was, when I was 14, I was a Sea Scout. And in Scouts, they teach you knots, and I didn't really remember it. But when we were sailing, it was like, if you can't tie a knot, we don't want you on our boat.
Mhm.
Like, when the storms hit, you had to know your part, your job, or, it's like you're putting everyone's safety at risk. If you're on bow watch or your boat's coming into dock, and if something happens, they wanted you to be competent. And it was kind of weird to be like, it was cool if you knew your stuff.
Right.
Or some things in society is just not attention. But yeah, when you get out on the water, things are a little more serious. You can't just walk away. I have been on the ocean with 82 knots of wind. That's like 90 something miles an hour, 8-foot chop, and just got hammered all night. And just praying the cleat on the bow is going to hold the mooring. like please don't break free. We pulled anchor and blew out to sea once, and I don't know what the wind was, because you're on Santa Cruz Island. On that one, we blew out kind of sideways, and the 15 minutes it blew out and pulled up the anchor, it took us 45 minutes rolling back into the wind, then the electrical storms. But it was a huge chapter in my life where I got to experience and grow up in a unique way. I couldn't just step off the boat and be like, I'm done. No, you had to write it out.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of growth. Some of my heroes from those days, when the crap hit the fan and the wind was howling and the lightning was cracking, and you couldn't walk off the boat, to see who stood tall and became a man or a woman, became a leader in that moment.
Right.
To this day, I still honor those people because of, those experiences. And I'm not saying, a sailboat class and all that's going to provide that, but maybe it'll provide an opportunity to learn new skills and do things. You're just getting out in the community and experiencing things.
Right.
And from that, will there be a chance to be like, hey, we're going to go to the San Juan Islands and check out an island, or will we do this, or will it? You don't know where it's going to take you.
Yeah.
The opportunities are sometimes like unknown. Looking back, I was like, how did I get in this position where I got to spend this time on the water growing up? And it was because I had one leader that this opportunity came up, and he was like, "Hey, you guys interested in the water? I got a connection here." And there were like 12 of us that were like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And we kind of went that direction, all because of one person making a difference. And when I look back on my life, like I still have this calling to the ocean. I have a little catamaran sailboat here, that I'll sail on the lake every now and again, because of that. So I have fond memories of that. And there's part of me, if you hear me talk, like, "What's your dream, Rick?" I'm like, "I'm gonna sell everything and I'm gonna sail the world." Not that I'm gonna do that.
He's gonna quit his job
I'm
and
gonna quit my
sail
job soon
to Hawaii.
as soon as the
Does that sound
YMCA is up.
And we have a guest that asked this question. Can we come down to karaoke and sing YMCA and pass the collection bucket around, maybe?
There you go.
There you
I
go.
love it. I love it. That's awesome.
He said, "I'll donate to hear that."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, we can do a YMCA collection.
Yeah.
Might make $100, might
Yeah.
make $1,000.
Yeah. I appreciate that. And I just, I have nothing but respect for what, you guys are doing and what we need here in Moses Lake. And yeah, once I'm done with this, it's going to be something else. So I'll be back.
Yeah, you bet. Well, great. Everyone, thanks for joining us today. Just roll your brain around the YMCA or a facility like it. It doesn't have to be called the Y.
That's right.
But that kind of encompasses everything. And the goal is to have that name or sponsor, right? I don't know what exactly you would call that, but have them put their stamp on there would be the first goal. The second goal is do it anyway.
Yep.
The outline's the same.
Correct.
So anyway, thanks for joining us. This is Teresa Fields. And what was the email again?
Y_Moses_Lake@yahoo.com.
Very good.
Awesome, Donnie.
And if you have extra money, send it my way.
And a portion of that will go to me and the rest of it to her.
Correct.
We will start the aquatics program.
I'll get it all from them. Trust me.
Maybe I will start that aquatics program.
There you go. There you go.
Oh.
See, we started something here.
Oh, it brings it back up.
That's it.
I get to look at it again.
See, I'm there. I'm gonna help you out.
See who supports that or not. So, but I think it'd be a great thing, for the kids. How do you do it so it could be what nonprofit or break even?
Correct.
And get some of the youth working.
Could you imagine somebody coming back and going, "I joined the Marines because of you"?
They would join the Army.
Hoorah. There you go. Hoorah.
Very good. All right. Thanks, everyone. I will see you later. This is Rick signing out.